Hello and welcome back to my channel. I am Sleepybuck and today we are going to be finishing Cirrus's route in Obscura. I'm hoping to get the rest of his endings. There are I believe 6 in total. I could be wrong. Don't quote me. Hold on. Okay, so I lied. There's 5. But yes, we are going to go ahead and get the rest of those, and I'm excited. Okay, let's get into it. So for this second route, we're gonna try to get his worst of the worst ending. I pick at my nails in slight discomfort, thankfully hidden from view under my long sleeves. He doesn't seem all that bad at first glance, but I don't appreciate the pushiness I feel from him. It's disconcerting. I'll pass. Maybe I'm just on high alert. The marketplace hasn't given me much of a break. I want to trust my gut feeling, but the truth is that I'm tired, demotivated, and a little hungry. So the gut can't be trusted. My bad. Of course you don't have to answer. You know better than anyone else how important anonymity is down here, I'm sure. Indeed. He sounds a little saddened, but I don't understand why. That being said, sometimes it is our dedication to remaining a stranger that is our downfall in the end. Huh. I don't really understand what he meant by that, so I dismiss it as a priest's philosophical ramblings. I think I ought to be heading back soon. Errands won't run themselves. Good luck, my star. What can I call you the next time we meet? Next time, huh? Sleepy. Cirrus repeats it, testing the pronunciation. Then a smile spreads across his lips. It suits you. Thanks. Picked it myself. Quite the mouthy one, aren't you? It's part of my endless charm. Hey, I'm back. Didn't want to disturb you back there. Back there? Oh. He tilts his head, lips stretching into a mysterious smile. Didn't I make you curious, by any chance? About the ceremony? Yes. Not really. I just really didn't want to get in the way. That's a shame. His smile falters, only for a second. Either way, I'm sure you didn't come here just to spy on me and the paintings. His comment makes me smile. Maybe I did. My star, what if I told you there might be another way? I feel my hand twitch, then curl into a fist. Impossible. I wouldn't be so sure. The lunar god is benevolent, wondrous being. Goosebumps erupt all over my skin, and my heart leaps into my throat. It's too good to be true. It has to be. There is no conceivable way he could have answers right here, on a silver platter. Everything about this situation is making the alarm bells in my head go off. Instead of cutting Cirrus off, I wait for him to elaborate. His voice drops an octave. You're shivering. Time around us comes to a standstill. I don't have a cure, not yet, but I want to help you. Will you let me help you, Sleepy? I can't. Yes. Is that even a question? Refusing that would be utterly idiotic of me. Thank you. The words spill from my mouth before I can even think twice. I'm still in disbelief. My mind is overcome with a sudden wave of confusion. I need to know the details. But he's been so kind to me. I have a hard time doubting the validity of his claims. Cirrus adjusts his gloves with a practiced movement. I'll need a bit of time. Getting a hold of the substance is no easy feat. Unlikely, but if you'd like to offer a prayer, that will always be encouraged. I contemplate the idea. I'd prefer not to. I think I'll pass. I'd rather start looking right away. I'm feeling antsy. Are you sure? It really might not be such a bad idea. Huh? Doubt instantly settles into my gut. You never know how the small things might alter your chances of survival, my star. I don't want to. I strongly recommend you reconsider. I don't want to. I strongly recommend you reconsider. I don't want to. We can do this all day, Cirrus.
A few moments later.
2 hours later. 1 eternity later.
The next day.
Fine. You're awfully insistent. I apologize, Sleepy, but your safety is very important. Then let us be quick about it. His shadowy mask turns my way, lips set into a neutral line. My favorite line. Chin up, Sleepy. Do not hide your face from the lunar god. Expose your emotions. I feel vulnerable, protected, and annoyed. Annoyed. You're annoying. A bit uncomfortable. I don't necessarily like taking orders. I think I might show in my body language because Cirrus grows somewhat quiet. He gives me a moment to adjust. You're almost there. Simply repeat after me, my star. On my way back to the Leaping Bear, I stop at a food stall for some hearty potato soup and allow myself to take a bit of time to relax. I don't think I'll ever truly get used to not seeing the sun, but I'm starting to warm up to the underground as a whole. Halfway through another sip, I think back on what happened at the church. I don't understand why he was so insistent. It was kind of nice. I hated every second of it. His pushiness still leaves a bitter aftertaste lingering in the back of my mouth. I should have walked right out of those doors. My fist curls tighter around the spoon in frustration. Frustration because Cirrus remains my only lead and hope in finding lunar Ecor. I have to work hard while I'm still here. After loitering around for just a bit longer, I pay for my soup and begin my long detour home. Let's be mean to him this time. Retract my hand. Out of habit, I pull my hand back uncomfortable. Excuse me. Oh, I'm very sorry. I should have asked. At first glance, he's an easily frightened sort. I'm not sure how much of that is genuine. Please take care and allow me to make this up to you someday. Cirrus expectantly hands the person in front of him something that gleams in candlelight, pale and deathly. It's a blade. My body immediately tenses at the sight, and my heartbeat skyrockets. I have to do something. Is it even safe to interfere? Crap, what do I do? I want to see what happens if you let the time run out. I can't move. I'm too paralyzed by the sight in front of me. How could this be happening? The person now wielding the knife holds it to their hand as they would a precious jewel and then looks up at Cirrus. Their voice trembles. Right here? No, you're right. Okay, so it goes back into the good ending. Walk away. No. This is crazy. I can't be seen here. I'm going to pretend I never saw anything. That's the only thing that can save me at this point. Morals be darned. I quietly shuffle my way back to the main hall, and once I'm past the altar, I bolt. Through the church doors, back into the anonymous safety of the crowd, I run until my lungs are on fire and I start feeling numb. I decide to duck into a less crowded alley and lean against the murky wall for support. I'm exhausted. Definitely a bit out of shape. But most of all, shaken to the core. I can't believe that was Cirrus. Who was he threatening and why? Huh. Of course he couldn't be trusted. I should have known. My gut feeling was right after all. Though I feel tears of frustration prickle at my eyes, I will them away with a shake of my head and close my fist, concentrating on my breathing. Maybe there's another way to go about this. What do I do now? Continue cooperating? Find another way to get a hold of the Igor. I'm gonna save. Let's continue cooperating with Cirrus. It's okay. I'll just return tomorrow or the day after. He'll never know I saw anything. I only need to stick with him for this information. I head back to the inn, distraught, and contemplate my new interaction with Cirrus. I have no idea how it'll go. I don't have to wait long to find out, of course. When I'm back the next day, he questions where I was, and I lie about feeling unwell. I don't care if he truly believes me or not. Maybe he knows I saw something. As long as he doesn't acknowledge it and gives me the information, that's all that matters to me. So, did you find anything about where Nexus left things behind? I'm sorry, my star. Not yet. He pauses, then smiles. You'll have to give me just a little bit more time. Okay, I trust you. I have to force myself to say that last part. Cirrus tilts his head to the side. Do you really, Sleepy? My throat feels tight. I do. It feels like the biggest lie I've ever told. And that night, once again, I'm struck with nerve-wracking insomnia that leaves me in a cold sweat the next morning. There's a surprise waiting for me when I arrive the next day, after awaiting answers from the priest. Another person stands beside him, muscular and expensively clothed. They seem to be in deep conversation until they notice me, and Cirrus beckons me closer. My star, this is Ark. Ark pleased me Sleepy. She's a promising candidate, as I mentioned. Ark assesses me quickly and then turns back to the priest. How much? The alarm bells instantly go off in my head. Hold your horses, what? No, you shut up. Jesus. What are you doing? Why are you trying to sell me? He heaves a sigh. If you would let me finish. No, she's not for sale. Instead, she will come work for you, and I trust you'll pay her a livable wage. Certainly. They're talking about me as if I weren't right in front of them. Hey, I'm pretty sure I have a say in whether I want to work or not. This is the only way you'll be able to get the lunar core. His words hit me hard, though I find it difficult to believe him. He speaks truth. If you're successful, you'll be overflowing with coin. What does this job entail? Cirrus smiles, but he doesn't answer me. The same smile stays on his face when he sees me off, as Ark forcibly drags me by the arm and into some shady side streets. He doesn't let go of me until I'm tossed into a small room, one of many in a long corridor, and he tells me to freshen up. The way the room is furnished tells me all I need to know. Chains neatly coiled in the corner, suspension points expertly attached to the ceiling. There's boxes of rope, oddly shaped toys, and all kinds of horrifying magical implements crammed into every corner, including the tiny bathroom off to the side, where I'm expected to make myself as presentable as possible. You have 10 minutes. Take any longer, and you'll have more than a few bruises to worry about. I take a deep breath. Then I swallow my pride. Every single bit of it. Because even if it means I'll live in the worst conditions for a while, at least I'll still have hope. Bad end. Cirrus grew bored of you. Okay, so this is we're gonna find another way. Cause we ain't doing all of that with him. I ain't got time to play with him. It's been made abundantly clear to me that people just cannot be trusted here. All that's left for me is to rely on myself. I'm the only one I can trust down here in this godforsaken place. And that's okay. I don't need anybody. I collect myself, dust my robes off, and start walking again. I'll keep checking in on the shops every day, as long as I have to, until I find it. Days trickle by. I have an aim, but it seems like despite the ever-changing layout of the market, I can't find anything. The soles of my shoes wear down from the constant walking. My coin pouch feels lighter by the day. It won't be long until I can't even afford to stay at the inn anymore. But never once do I return to the church. I'd rather rot here in the streets than rely on some corrupt priest's help. At least if I'll die down here, it'll be with dignity. My search continues. I'm growing desperate. I can feel something gnawing at the back of my mind, demanding freedom. It claws at my conscience, unrelenting, but I have nothing to silence it. It's pure willpower that keeps me on my feet now, every single day. Eventually, my funds run out. Fearing Rufus's bat, I handed my key to the bare-masked caretaker, who observed me with poorly disguised pity when she sees the state I'm in. Nothing? I shake my head. When I step out the inn for the last time, my common sense tells me to head back up to the light where I belong. To bask in the sun and let its rays wash away all my worries. But I can't do that. I'm running out of time. So I stay. I walk every day and sit at the edge of busy streets, silently begging for some cash to feed myself with. I feel my physical self weakening, but my resolve never does. It's a horrible way to live. But at least here, I'll have a better chance of finding the ichor. And so, I keep walking. Oh no. Bad end. Your search led you nowhere. Okay, so this is another one of the endings. Halfway through another sip, I think back on what happened at the church. I don't understand why he's so insistent. The strange gut feeling never leaves me. Fanatical priests aren't unheard of, and there's a fair share who would do anything to spread the word of their religion. But Cirrus never struck me as that kind of priest. So why now? Either way, I need to come to terms with what happened. I have to work hard while I'm here. After loitering around for just a bit longer, I pay for my soup and begin my long detour back. So we wanted to confront him. We did the confronting after the person left. Why? Why is this happening? What? Hush, little star. As much as I enjoy the sound of your voice, you really do talk too much. He takes a step back, finally allowing me a bit of personal space. Then he immediately turns around and makes his way to one of the minimalist wooden shelves in the corner of his room. Then I suppose I'll have to take matters into my own hands. I can't have my little star ruining her chances. I'll do it myself. Okay. Something about this feels decidedly wrong. Conflicting emotions surge through me as I gaze up from my position. Why is this necessary? I don't understand. You'll understand once you're done, I assure you. Punishments can be rather enlightening experiences. I'll do it. I reach up for Cirrus's flogger, instantly feeling the weight of it in my hand. It's real black leather, braided around the handle for grip, extending into a dozen thin tails. Even just feeling it brush against my fingertips makes me shiver. The effects of the nectar have fully settled in at this point. How about you start with 10? Doesn't matter where, as long as we can see your strength as normal. He pauses. But don't hit any organs. The back is a relatively safe spot to start. He cares. He cares for us. Funny that you're thinking about safety right now. Cirrus's masked expression tells me everything I need to know. His patience is running dry. But it's the only thing keeping me sane while I contemplate the idea of inflicting intense pain on myself. I'm dragging the time out. Surely it won't be so bad. I just have to muster up the courage. As soon as my palms stop shaking, crap. With a decisive grip, I move the flogger into position in front of me. And then I fling it over my shoulder, the tails to reach a spot on my upper back. The sudden onslaught of pain makes me gasp, and I instantly drop the tool to steel myself and control my breathing. The impact lingers for a while, rippling over the skin in burning, painful waves. Shh! Don't swear before our God. Cirrus instantly chastises me before I can say any more, and watches me from above with poorly concealed glee. That's 1. Only 9 more to go. It takes everything to even pick up the flogger, with how the hit has affected me. But I can't stop now. I go for another hit, willing it to land a little lower than earlier. When it doesn't, the lashing hits the previous spot. I double over, whimpering into my cloak. I already feel myself breaking into a cold, clammy sweat. Oh dear. He grins. His grin is nothing short of sadistic. That must have hurt, you poor thing. I don't even know if I can do all 10 without passing out at this rate. Waiting until the pain ebbs away before going for the next hit takes progressively longer. And every time I can feel the priest's impatience growing. He's encouraging me to keep going. I can't. Yes, you can. The pain is all in your head, little star. It's all for the greater good. The pain will cleanse you ever so deeply from head to toe. I promise, you're going to feel so much better afterwards. You'll feel so good. His voice is sickeningly sweet, staining my mind with hypnotic suggestions that leave me dizzy. I brace myself for another self-inflicted hit, and this time I collapse, breath ragged. I can see my hand shaking in front of me, despite my blurring vision. It doesn't take long for me to realize it's tears. Harder. I know you can go just a little harder for me. Come now. His tongue sweeps across his lips to wet them, and in that moment I think he doesn't look nor sound like a priest. But I keep that to myself as I raise my hand, for the final time, and when the impact lands between my shoulder blades, I succumb to the darkness. My senses numb, finally. It's the sweetest release. So good I could keep crying. And then I pass out. Before I forget, my star, I've got some news regarding the notes. This makes me sit up straighter in attention. Really? Indeed. I'll be sending out someone tomorrow, and if all goes well, they'll be back with positive news. Can't we just go ourselves? I'm not sure that's a good idea. Why? I think you should head home for the day. His words leave me confused. Why did his mood suddenly change? Maybe I should. His curt demeanor kind of stings, though I am unsure if it's because he's withholding information or because he's kicking me out. While I get up to ensure I have all my belongings on me, Cirrus waits in tense silence. But I want answers. So when are you going to be honest with me? His lips pull into a thin line, clearly not in the mood for questions. I have not been honest with me whatsoever, Cirrus. I'm trusting you with my life here, but you can't even be asked to give me a straight answer. Irritation starts to fuel my words. No, instead of that, you're just pulling me along whatever way you like without any consideration. Just when I'm about to say more, he turned towards me completely, with all trace of annoyance vanished. You're not ready for the honest truth.
And I'm not out of order. You're out of order. The whole freaking system is out of order. You want the truth? You want the truth? You can't handle the truth!
His words feel like a slap across the face. What? There is so much more at play here than you realize, Sleepy, and you know nothing of it. Someone who's been here for so little time cannot possibly hope to understand yet. My mind was racing. There are so many words I want to hurl back at him, but none of them come out. Instead, I take a deep breath. You're full of crap. Go home. We'll talk once you've calmed down. He unlocks the door for me, and I don't waste a second before storming out. I'm tired. A part of me wants to run and never see him again, thinking maybe it'll be easier on my own. But I'm stubborn, and I'll do everything to get what I want. Eventually, Cirrus will understand that. Oh, we about to fight Cirrus. Neutral end. You won't give up. Okay, this time let's interfere. Wait! Cirrus! My body moves out into the open before common sense can stop me. Both of them immediately whip around, taken out from their moment, and as the other person raises their knife with trembling hands, I realize I've messed up. Wait. Drop it. The clatter of metal on the ground makes me exhale in relief, but not for long. Cirrus steps around the trembling figure, then slowly makes his way towards me. My star? He starts, mouth set into a frown. My first instinct is to step back, fearing the consequences, but my morals are stronger and keep me rooted in place. What is going on here? Why? I don't have the context, but I'm filled with the bitter sting of betrayal nonetheless. How could someone, as seemingly kind as him, just turn around and take advantage of someone so clearly out of it? Why are you threatening this person? What even? Sleepy. Cirrus's voice turns back to the warm, comforting one I've always heard. But right now, I don't know if I can trust it. You shouldn't be here, my star. I'm simply taking care of some sensitive matters. You have to understand. Sensitive matters? Really? You gave him a knife. One that he was going to use on himself. On himself. He pauses. I think you have the wrong idea. What I gave him is not a weapon, but a ritual dagger. One used in the elaborate dances and rituals of repentance. I'm left utterly speechless. I stare at Cirrus, then back at the trembling person. Then I ask them if it's true. They nod. I think I should leave. I think you're staying right where you are.
We're not gonna obey you. No.
No freaking way. When he sees I offer no further answers, his fingers grab my face and tear the lower segments of my mask off. The hinges and ruined remains of it lie forgotten on the floor as I stumble back. Before I know, my lips are pried open with strong but controlled force. When I try to bite down, the vial is jammed carelessly between my teeth, allowing the liquid inside to pour over my tongue. The solid glass is enough to stop my bite, but I'm left with pain blooming in my whole mouth, as a few tiny shards of glass resting on my tongue, almost as a warning. The nectar is just as thick as the initial smell, but now it runs over my taste buds. I'm overwhelmed by the flowery, syrupy aftertaste. I feel it sticking to my lips like a glaze, and when he continues pouring, it trickles down my chin. I've got some news regarding the notes. It makes me sit up straighter in attention. Really? Indeed. I'll be sending out someone tomorrow, and if all goes well, they'll be back with positive news. Can't we just go there ourselves? Cirrus pursed his lips, taking the time to think. I suppose I can't stop you. We could go now if you'd like. I feel a surge of energy shoot straight through me as I leap out of the bed, then adjust my hood. I've never felt more ready. Let's go. He chuckles. Eager. I dismiss the comment and make my way towards the door that has been since unlocked. When the night air hits my face outside the church, I find myself completely relieved. I never realized how suffocating the small room was, even in comparison to a literal cave. Cirrus guides me in silence through a long series of unwinding maze-like passages, though progressively more and more obscure stalls. We eventually find ourselves in front of a row of small, decrepit homes, one of which is barely standing. The door is broken down and the walls are crumbling. But that is the one he leads me towards. Then I see it, the desk and the stack of documents, almost as though waiting for us. What I don't see is the thin little line of magic running across the floor, barely shimmering amidst the dust.
I'm in danger!
By the time my foot passes through it, the floorboards spread apart with a sharp crack, and suddenly, blades shoot up from the gap and into my flesh. I can't even make a sound. Not when my entire body is impaled and falling apart, landing on the floor with a sickening squelch. I feel strangely full. The sharp edges cut like butter through my organs, muscle, and skin, leaving me to bathe in a horrifying, unceremonious puddle of my own bodily juices. The life drains out of me, and I barely manage to hear Cirrus sighing before my consciousness shuts down, never to come back. I'll have to thank them for setting this up. She fell right into it. Cirrus makes his way over to the remains of Sleepy and kneels down, petting her head. You're okay now. You don't have to suffer anymore. Even better, now I won't have to listen to that little mouth going off. Worst end. We put you out of your misery. Well, he is wild. Anywho, we definitely have, I think, three or four more characters to get through. So I'm excited that I am going to complete a game. I'm gonna do it. So yes, thank you so much for watching, and as always, I hope you have a wonderful morning, afternoon, evening, or night, and that you can do something cozy and warm for yourself. And I will see you later.